Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Craig Peters here from Soundiron, and today I'm excited to be walking you through Sonespheres 3 Current, which is the newest evolution in our Sonespheres series in collaboration with film and television composer Blake Ewing. So with the Sonespheres series, we're stepping inside the mind of Blake Ewing, who's an amazingly talented and creative sound designer and composer. And with all these sounds, it's perfect for scoring drama or just adding evolving textures and pads to your music. So let's just dive right in. I'm going to show you guys some of the sounds. These are some of my favorite that come with the library. He has a lot of his own sampled strings that he used and sound designed and manipulated. So let's just go ahead and play through some of those. And with some of these samples, you'll see that as you go lower, the vibrato will take a little bit longer because it's a sample that we took and stretched across the keyboard. So if you hear some of the notes that are higher up, it sounds a little bit more quicker and wobbly, which is kind of cool because you can really sort of get a lot of different sounds out of it. So if you want to go really low, sound a little bit more ominous and dreadful. Really good for dramatic scoring. Now here's another one that he did as well. This one's a little bit more of a lower sounding string. So if you're familiar with the Sonespheres series, you know that there's two different sources that you can switch between and crossfade between, or just layer if that's what you want to do. So let's say you want to have the sound that we just played on source 1 and then the first sound that we played on source 2. And so let's just go ahead. If I have the X fade all the way to the left, it'll be using source 1. Now, if I want to blend between, I can do that as well. There's also some really cool piano sounds in here as well, so let's just go ahead and play you a little bit of that. And then if you want to go ahead and blend that with some strings, you can do that. So you can get some piano sounds with some evolving strings as well. So if you're in the piano banks and you go to the drop down below that, you'll see the different presets of pianos. So let's just let's play through a few of those. And with Blake doing the sound design that he did, some of these pianos aren't your normal pianos, so you'll hear that there's these little evolving textures and stuff on the end of them. And I like to think of libraries like this as cue starters. I think stuff like this, like just having some evolving sounds that you can just play around with, just really sort of jogs the inspiration a little bit. Because you could be playing something like this and then start adding stuff on top of it. Then maybe you want to blend in some strings. Now let's go ahead and play through some of the other sounds. You also got some sound designed harp sounds. There's also a whole list of different impacts for adding a little bit of low and boom to some of your tracks. Now let's check out some of the sounds within the Seabeds Bank. Some really weird textural stuff based off some different ocean sounds. Let's see what else we got in here. And what this is for, just creating some interesting textures under some other sounds. So let's say we want to blend some of that underneath some let's say, let's just pick a random sound. You could hear it underneath, and you can blend it in as much as you want. being that you're not really sure what it is, if you were trying to create some tension in a track, adding a little bit of that underneath makes it, makes you a little unsure of what you're hearing. Add in a little tension. Let's check out some of these bass synths. And this library comes with a ton of different options as far as customization and doing your own sound design. If you look underneath all the different source 1 and source 2, you have different volume, attack, offset, release controls. You can add your own filter and LFOs. And then there's also an arpeggiator built inside. And then there's also an effects rack. So if, let's say, you want to add your own reverb, you can do that. So this is without. Just kind of dies off, add a little bit of reverb. Or you can also add a little bit of delay. So with the effects rack, there's 18 different DSP effects to choose from. So if, let's say, you don't want to use any of your own third-party plugins to save on resources, you can use some of the ones that are built within Kontakt. So it's really cool, and definitely suggest playing around with that. All right, so now let's go ahead and check out some of the custom effects presets that were handmade by Blake himself. This one's called 1,000 Miles. And with these effects presets, you can customize them even if you want to, take them and change them in your own way. If you want, let's say, you can go ahead and add an arpeggiator on here. You want to change the different mode. And then if, let's say, you like an effects preset, but you want to be able to crossfade between the two, you can go ahead and right-click and learn this to your mod wheel, so you can actually go in and out of the different sounds as well. You're not bound by either one or the other. So it's a really cool option to have. So let's say you want to be really subtle and then go into something that's a little bit more aggressive. This one's called Crossroads. Sometimes whenever I'm going through the effects presets and I see the names, sometimes I'll use that as a way of finding maybe a certain tone that I'm looking for in a track, and then you know, just seeing where the sounds inspire you. So this is a really soft, delicate piano sound. This one's called Ever Rising. Really delicate and fragile piano. Really good for tension cues. So if you'd like to learn more about Sonespheres 3 Current or any of our other Sonespheres products, make sure to go to soundiron.com to learn more and check out some of the amazing demos showing this library in action. And if you want to watch some more videos, make sure to check out the Sonespheres 3 Current playlist on our YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.